Hello students, this video is my continuation of the previous video on autonomic nerves of the abdomen. In the previous video, I have discussed about the parasympathetic nerves of the abdomen, in detail. Please go through that video. In this video, I will describe the sympathetic nerves of the abdomen. Now, the sympathetic nerves are vasomotor, motor to the sphincters, inhibitory to peristalsis, and sensory to all viscera to which it's supplied. Parasympathetic, I have already mentioned, they are motor and secretomotor. But sympathetic nerves functions are, it is vasomotor, motor to sphincters. You know sphincters, there is esophageal sphincter, then pyloric sphincter, you have anal sphincters. So these are the sphincters which are present in the abdominal cavity. So it is motor to the sphincters, means it helps in opening or closing of that sphincters. Inhibitory to peristalsis. Now parasympathetic is motor to the peristalsis, means it leads to peristaltic movements. Sympathetic, it inhibits the peristaltic movements. You know intestines, they have peristaltic movements. So sympathetic is inhibitory to peristalsis and parasympathetic is stimulatory to peristalsis. And also sympathetic, it is sensory supplying the organ. That means all the senses, the pain, the pain senses, the irritation in the organs, the pain in the organs are because of the sympathetic nerves. So sensations is provided by the sympathetic nerves. In detail I have talked about the parasympathetic nerves. Now here I will talk about the sympathetic nerves. Now embryological wise, you all know we have foregut, midgut and hindgut. We have foregut, midgut and hindgut. Now abdominal aorta is one of the largest artery in our body. This abdominal aorta has branches, as you all know, celiac trunk. These are unpaired visceral branches. So these are unpaired visceral and ventral branches of the abdominal aorta. Please go through my video of abdominal aorta for this knowledge. Now abdominal aorta, the branches are unpaired branches from the ventral aspect are celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery and the inferior mesenteric artery. And abdominal aorta, it terminates by dividing into two branches, the common iliac, the right and left common iliac. The right and left common iliac then further divides into internal and external iliac arteries. This has been taught in detail. Now, surrounding these arteries are the aortic plexus that contains sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve fibers. So, surrounding these arteries, whether it is celiac trunk, the superior mesenteric or the inferior mesenteric artery, there is presence of aortic plexus. Now, what does this mean? See, this is the diagram. This is celiac trunk. Now if you see, this is the brain stem. This is the brain stem, DS. This is, if you draw the vertebral column, this is cervical vertebrae, this is thoracic vertebrae, this is lumbar and this is sacral vertebrae. Now in the previous video I have taught that parasympathetic has cranial outflow and the sacral outflow. The cranial outflow is the vagus nerve, the vagus nerve, and the sacral outflow is S2, S3, S4 and it forms pelvic splanchnic nerves. This I have explained in detail in previous video. Now, this is sympathetic chain. This chain you can see here, this is the sympathetic chain, surrounding the thoracic vertebrae. And the lumbar vertebrae. Surrounding the thoracic and the lumbar vertebrae is, I have drawn this sympathetic chain. Now This is celiac trunk. This is abdominal aorta. This is abdominal aorta which I have drawn. This abdominal aorta, one ventral unpaired branch is the celiac trunk. Okay. This celiac trunk, it arises from the upper border of L1. Next branch of the abdominal aorta, unpaired, is superior mesenteric artery. Okay. And surrounding is the superior mesenteric plexus. Superior mesenteric artery is formed at the level of lower border of L1. Inferior mesenteric artery, one of the unpaired visceral branch of the abdominal aorta, is at the level of the border of L3, and surrounding it is the inferior mesenteric plexus. How this celiac plexus, superior mesenteric plexus and inferior mesenteric plexus are formed, for that you have to go through my video of parasympathetic nerves of the abdomen. That is my previous video. Okay. Now in this video I am talking about the sympathetic nerves. Just in front, that is pre-aortic ganglion, these are. Just in front of the celiac trunk is present of celiac ganglion. In front of the superior mesenteric artery, there is presence of superior mesenteric ganglion, and in front of inferior mesenteric artery is presence of inferior mesenteric ganglion. Okay, so this is celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric ganglion and inferior mesenteric ganglion. The sympathetic nerves supplying the abdomen, it arises from T5 to T12 and L1, L2, L3, that is lumbar vertebrae. The parasympathetic is cranial origin, that is vagus, and sacral vertebrae, sacral nerves S2, S3 and S4. But sympathetic is from T5 to T12 and lumbar vertebrae L1, L2 and L3. Okay. Now, what happens? The preganglionic fibers, that is the fibers, it arises from T5, T6, T7, T8 and T9. This preganglionic fibers will pass through the sympathetic chain, okay, and they unite to form greater splanchnic fibers. They unite to form greater splanchnic fibers. These fibers, they go towards the celiac ganglion. Celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric ganglion and inferior mesenteric ganglion are pre-aortic ganglion. Okay, this is abdominal aorta. So here there is a bunch of neurons, pre-aortic, just before the aorta begins. So they are pre-aortic ganglion. So this greater splanchnic fibers, they reach the celiac ganglion. So these are presynaptic fibers. These fibers, they synapse with the postsynaptic fibers, okay, which are present in the celiac ganglion. These postsynaptic fibers will reach the celiac plexus, okay, and this celiac plexus will supply the organs of the foregut. Okay, you understood? So, if we see here, surrounding the celiac trunk is the celiac plexus. I have explained you. Surrounding the superior mesenteric artery is superior mesenteric plexus, and surrounding the inferior mesenteric artery is the inferior mesenteric plexus. Okay, this plexus you all know. Now, what happens? Now, the sympathetic chain, it consists of sympathetic fibers which leave from the thoracic and lumbar region. That also I have explained, from T5 to T12 and lumbar nerves L1, L2 and L3. Okay. So they leave and they join the sympathetic chain. These are presynaptic fibers. This also I have explained right now. The postsynaptic sympathetic fibers, they arise and supply the thoracic cavity, heart and lungs. In abdomen, the sympathetic nerves will supply the GIT. Now, there are pre-aortic ganglion, which also have explained: celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric ganglion, inferior mesenteric ganglion. The sympathetic fibers from T5 to T9, they pass through the sympathetic chain and goes to the celiac ganglion. These fibers are known as greater Spanklik fibers. It goes to the celiac ganglion, okay, and from celiac ganglion arises the postsynaptic fibers, which goes to foregut via the celiac plexus. So this I have explained you, what I have shown you in the diagram. So presynaptic fibers arising from T5 to T9 vertebrae, they are known as greater splanchnic fibers. They go towards the celiac ganglion, which is a pre-aortic ganglion in front of the celiac trunk. Here there is synapse occurring, and from this arises the postsynaptic ganglion or postsynaptic fiber. This fiber, they pass through the celiac plexus, okay, and this celiac plexus, how it is formed, that also I have shown in parasympathetic. And from celiac plexus, it will supply the organ of the foregut. Okay, again I repeat, this celiac plexus is formed from the presynaptic, long presynaptic fiber coming from the posterior vagal trunk. It will surround the celiac trunk and it forms the celiac plexus. This continue, and there is, it unites with the postsynaptic fibers which is present at the surface of the organ, okay, and it will supply the organs of the foregut. This I am talking about parasympathetic. So in sympathetic, the greater splanchnic fibers, it will synapse with the celiac ganglion. There is postsynaptic ganglion arising, it passes through the celiac plexus and it will supply the organs of the foregut. Celiac trunk, I have already explained which are the organs of the foregut, okay, when I have done abdominal aorta. Next, sympathetic nerves, okay, arising from T10 to T11. From T10 to T11, the arises presynaptic fibers. It passes through the sympathetic chain. This is the sympathetic chain. Okay, then these fibers are known as lesser splanchnic nerves. This fiber will reach the superior mesenteric ganglion, which is pre-aortic ganglion in front of the superior mesenteric artery, one of the branch of the abdominal aorta. Here synapse occur. The postsynaptic fibers will reach the superior mesenteric plexus, and from there these fibers will reach and supply the organs of the midgut. Okay. Next, T12. The presynaptic fiber arises from T12. It passes through the sympathetic chain. This is known as least splanchnic nerve. This will go towards the sympathetic ganglion and will synapse here, superior mesenteric ganglion, and it will synapse here. From here, the postsynaptic fibers arises, passes through the superior mesenteric plexus and will supply the organs of the midgut. Okay. Next is L1, L2 and L3. So, presynaptic fibers from L1, L2 and L3, it arises and it passes through the sympathetic chain. These are lumbar splanchnic nerves. This will synapse with inferior mesenteric ganglion, which is in front of the abdominal aorta, which is in front of the inferior mesenteric artery. And from this, postsynaptic fibers will arise. It will pass through the inferior mesenteric plexus and will supply the organs of the hindgut. Okay, will supply the organs of the hindgut. So this is your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, So just looking in this diagram, I will explain you the entire thing in short. Okay, just listen it carefully. Autonomic nervous system of the abdomen, it consists of sympathetic and parasympathetic. The parasympathetic, first I will talk. It arises from cranial outflow and the sacral outflow. Okay. Now, the cranial outflow, the main nerve is the vagus nerve. Okay. The vagus nerve, it has vagal trunk, anterior vagal trunk, posterior vagal trunk. Now, this vagus nerve, yes, you all know this, I have explained you. The preganglionic fibers are from the vagus, okay, and in the thorax, the vagus nerve fibers, they form anterior and posterior esophageal plexus. From this plexus, the fibers arises to form anterior vagal trunks and posterior vagal trunk respectively. And posterior vagal trunk, anterior vagal trunk. Anterior vagal trunk is basically from left vagus and posterior vagal trunk is from the right vagus. This both trunk enters the abdomen via the esophageal opening in the diaphragm. Okay. Now, posterior vagal trunk, one of the longest presynaptic fiber, it goes and it reaches up to the celiac trunk of the abdominal aorta. Here it forms celiac plexus. This presynaptic fibers will reach towards the close to the organs of the foregut, where the post-synaptic, parasympathetic post-synaptic ganglion is present. Here they will synapse and the fibers will supply the foregut. So this is post-synaptic fibers. The ganglion here is near the surface of the organ or surrounding the organ in parasympathetic. Certain fibers of certain fibers of this vagus nerve, that is the presynaptic fibers, it crosses the celiac plexus and it will go down near the superior mesenteric artery to form superior mesenteric plexus. It will proceed further, it will reach the postsynaptic ganglion. From here, postsynaptic fibers will emerge and it will supply the organs of the midgut. Here, S2, S3 and S4, this is sacral outflow. The nerves arises from here. These are pelvic splanchnic nerves. These are presynaptic fibers. This will reach the inferior hypogastric plexus. This inferior hypogastric plexus is around the internal iliac artery. It will communicate with the superior hypogastric plexus with the help of right and left hypogastric nerve. And this superior hypogastric plexus is just above the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta. So fibers from pelvic splanchnic nerves will reach the inferior hypogastric plexus. It will go via the nerves, right and left hypogastric nerve, towards the inferior mesenteric artery. It will reach the it will form the inferior mesenteric plexus, and this plexus, the presynaptic fibers will emerge and it will synapse with the postsynaptic ganglion, which is present near the organs of the hindgut. From there, the fibers arises, postsynaptic fibers, and it will supply the hindgut. Okay, this was about parasympathetic. Sympathetic, we have to draw the vertebral column T5 to T12, L1, L2, L3. From T5 to T9, the presynaptic fibers, they passes the sympathetic chain. They are greater splanchnic nerves. They synapse with the celiac ganglion, which is just in front of the celiac trunk. This is pre-aortic ganglion. From here, the postsynaptic fibers arises. They crosses the celiac plexus and they will supply the organs of the foregut. Next, from T10 to T11, the presynaptic fibers arises, crosses the sympathetic chain. They are lesser splanchnic nerves. They synapse at the superior mesenteric ganglion, SMG. From here, The postsynaptic fibers, they passes through the superior mesenteric plexus, and then they will reach to supply the organs of the midgut. T12, the presynaptic fibers are known as least splanchnic nerve. They will go towards the superior mesenteric ganglion. Here synapse occurs. The postsynaptic fibers will cross the superior mesenteric plexus and will supply the organs of the midgut. Lumbar plexus L1, L2, L3. The three presynaptic fibers, they will arise from L1, L2, L3. They are known as lumbar splanchnic nerves. They will synapse at the inferior mesenteric ganglion. This is one of the pre-aortic ganglion in front of the inferior mesenteric artery. After synapse, the postsynaptic fibers will pass through the inferior mesenteric plexus and they will reach to supply the organs of the hind gut. Okay. So, this was about the autonomic nerves of the posterior abdominal wall. With this topic, I finish my talk on posterior abdominal wall. The chapter is over. Thank you so much, students.